Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Wes here, and today we're going to be talking about Sons of the Forest, one of the most anticipated sequels in the survival horror game genre. Sons of the Forest is right around the corner, and with that we're going to discuss the release date, the next gameplay reveal, some of the story details, as well as the latest news, leaks, and rumors regarding the game, and just generally everything you should know about Sons of the Forest. Real quick guys, if you want a chance to win a PS5 and a copy of Hogwarts Legacy or a game of your choice, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, comment your Twitter handle, follow me on Twitter, and tweet me proof that you're subscribed by tagging my Twitter handle at WesNemo. The winner will be announced at 80k subs, and I will not be reaching out via the comment section. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with The Forest, here's a quick rundown. The Forest is a survival horror game where the player takes part as the main character, Eric LeBlanc, who survives a plane crash in a remote and heavily forested peninsula. The player must then build a shelter, find resources and materials to craft, while also fighting off cannibalistic monsters, with the main goal to survive the forest. Along your journey doing this, you search for your child Timmy. Throughout the game, you explore caves, abandoned cannibal villages, and other remote areas within the forest, finding clues about Timmy and where he may be, all while crafting and collecting tools and other resources that will help you in your journey. And this brings us to the long-awaited sequel, Sons of the Forest, the next generation horror survival crafting game from developer Innight Games that takes place in the same world as the previous game. As of right now, there's not a whole lot of information to go off of when it comes to this new game, aside from the trailers that we have been given by Innight Games, as well as the interviews that have taken place with other YouTubers with the developers of Sons of the Forest. Now, before we jump into the story of Sons of the Forest, I'd like to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends has taken over and gaming will never be the same again. Raid is the first game to bring a true console level experience to your phone. They've set the bar high and there's no going back. Explore millions of champion combinations and master countless tactics as you take on raid bosses, dungeon runs, campaign battles, and PvP arena matches. With hundreds of artifacts to equip and over 600 champions, blessed with unique skills, you can build your team, develop your champions, and raid your way. And if you're just now jumping into Raid for the first time, here are my top 3 favorite factions. Starting off at number 3 is the Orcs. Initially bred as warrior slaves, Orcs do what they must to ensure their survival and have sided with the Queen of Aravia. Orcs are really fun to play as. Next up at number 2, we have the Dwarves. Peerless craftsmen and steadfast warriors, Dwarves send their greatest heroes to bring battle to their hated foe. And at number 1, my favorite faction has got to be the Dark Elves. Fallen from grace in their homelands of Aravia and currently inhabit the forests that border the realms of Teleria, the Dark Elves are truly fascinating. The design of the Dark Elf champions are incredible, and I strongly recommend playing any of the 3 that I just talked about. But speaking of factions, this month is huge for Raid. They just released a brand new faction, the Sylvan Watchers, with some amazing new champions. Forest Elves, Ints, Druids, Fays, they're all here. And I can't wait to summon them all to play with. And if that's not enough, Raid's got a full lineup of events along with a new season of the Forge Pass, where you can get your hands on some of the most powerful gear the game has ever seen. Also, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get your exclusive Prime gaming rewards in Raid right now. And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, click my link in the description or scan my QR code here on the screen. You'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion Tyrell, 200k silver, 1 energy refill and 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game. All of this treasure will be waiting for you right here at the top right of the screen. Now, when it comes to the story of Sons of the Forest, there's not many details as of right now. However, we know how it starts, which is to no one's surprise. It starts off with a helicopter crash that leaves your character stranded in a forest. The weird lady is more than likely a hallucination and a teaser of the mystery we will uncover during the story. Sons of the Forest will be an expansion on the type of visual storytelling in the first game. The devs confirm that it will feature less dialogue and will rely on the environment to set the tone, as well as give us context on what is happening and uncovering the story during the gameplay. Until we're given more context as to what to expect, it's up to us to kind of guess, which will end up making us all go insane, which is kind of fitting for the story. The only details about the story and the plot of the game come from the synopsis of Sons of the Forest, which is as followed. You're sent to find a missing billionaire on a remote island. You find yourself in a cannibal infested hellscape. Craft, build, and struggle to survive alone or with friends in this terrifying new open world survival horror simulator. Like I said, we don't have many details about the story, so it's really hard to speculate, but I'll let you guys do that in the comment section. Sons of the Forest was set to release sometime early to mid 2022, with Innight Games, the developer of Sons of the Forest, Forest, promising the release date of the sequel when the third trailer went live. Later on in the year, on November 30th of 2021, it was announced that Sons of the Forest would be released, with a delayed release date of May 20th, 2022. However, the developers InNight came out and said that the May launch was, quote, overly ambitious, before delaying the game again to October 2022. Anyone who played The Forest knows how big and intricate the game actually is, so it comes to no surprise that the game had to be delayed a couple times to even somewhat repeat or keep the same feeling that the first game had. Obviously, the quote from Shigeru Miyamoto is that a delayed game is eventually good and a rushed game is forever bad. And on August 31st, 2022, the developer gave us the unfortunate news that Sons of the Forest, in fact, is being delayed once again, this time with the release date of February 23rd, 2023. InNight stated in a press release on Twitter, "Due to the scope of our new game, Sons of the Forest, it has been hard to pinpoint an exact release date, and today we have to delay the game one last time. Given us time to complete the polish we feel is needed, we will release February 23rd, 2023, priced at $29.99 USD. So far, there has been no updates regarding the delay of Sons of the Forest release, and the current release time period is still February of 2023. But with a game that has been plagued with this many delays, I wouldn't doubt if we didn't see another delay happen again. Like I said, it's worth mentioning that just because a game is delayed doesn't mean it's going to be a flop. With this being an indie dev studio, it's totally normal. Granted, the hype around the sequel to The Forest that sold 5 million copies is pretty massive, so the pressure is definitely on for InNight Games to knock this one out of the park. In terms of the gameplay, we have a little bit more information to go off of. We will still have the more broad-range modern weapons, this time instead of the primitive survival weapons we had in the first game. In the release trailers, we see weapons ranging from a variety of guns, sticks, and tasers, or even a crossbow. However, we shouldn't get too hasty because the developer confirmed that ammunition will still be pretty scarce, so trying to figure out when you should use that ammunition, or rather just go melee focused, is something that's still going to be a critical aspect of this game. But regardless, modern weapons will all be crucial in fending off the cannibals or other mutants we may encounter in the forest. As expected, there will be a fair amount of exploring. However, the main objective is currently unknown, outside of trying to find the billionaire, as well as the idea of just getting out of the forest and surviving like we did in the previous game. There's also a massive overhaul to the graphics system for chopping down trees, shoveling dirt to uncover various things like buried treasure and stuff like that. The devs actually took inspiration from The Curse of Oak Island, the TV show on History Channel, and how they're handling the shoveling system. But all in all, there will be a ton of new things to craft, new weapons and tools to survive the forest. In the third trailer, we got to see a shotgun, an axe, a stun baton that are all showcased in fighting against various monstrosities that we will encounter in the new forest. Let's just say that modern weapons are going to feel so redeeming after playing the first game. In terms of the game's antagonist, we know that Sons of the Forest will feature a range of creatures. The Steam page overview states this: enter a world where no one is safe and fight against a range of mutated creatures, some who are almost human-like, and others who are like nothing you have ever seen before, armed with pistols, axes, stun batons, and more. Protect yourself and those you care for. On top of all of the creatures you will face, this game at its core is a survival crafting game. Feel every interaction, break sticks to make fire, use an axe to cut out windows and floors, build a small cabin or a seaside compound. The choice is yours. And the beauty is you can choose to do it alone or with friends. Sons of the Forest allows you to share items, work together to build defenses, but be sure to bring backup to explore above and below ground. Next up, let's talk about the setting and more importantly, the open world aspect of Sons of the Forest. During an interview with the developers by YouTube creator Farket, the question was asked, what details can you provide about the map? Are you able to give an indication of the world size as it compares to the forest? They followed up with, also in the forest ending, you showed a map of Site 2. Will this be a similar map? To which the developer responded, the new map is about 4 to 5 times the size of the first game. It is set on Site 2. However, since we drew that map before starting development on this game, the map and that drawing won't exactly match. Sons of the Forest world will also change with the seasons. According to the Steam page, it is described with the following: pluck fresh salmon directly from streams in spring and summer, collect and store meat for the cold winter months. You're not alone on this island, so as winter rolls in and food and resources become scarce, you won't be the only one looking for a meal. Now, there's currently no word on system requirements needed for Sons of the Forest as of right now, but don't be surprised if it's a bit hefty, especially after the trailers we have seen so far with the updated graphics, as well as the confirmation that the world size is 4 to 5 times larger. Sons of the Forest will be releasing initially on the Steam marketplace for $29.99, and if it follows its predecessor, there is a potential for a PlayStation release as well sometime after. However, there is no confirmation as of right now, nor do we know what generation it will be released on. My guess is that it will end up releasing on the PlayStation 5 as a console exclusive, similar to how its predecessor was a PS4 console exclusive. So now with that out of the way, way, let's talk about when we will see Sons of the Forest gameplay next. With 2022 coming to a close and February right around the corner, the marketing for this game is more than likely to start up very soon. With the Game Awards happening in early December, it's a strong possibility that there will be another trailer that drops during that showcase. If you remember right, the initial reveal trailer for Sons of the Forest dropped at the Game Awards a few years back. So it's only fitting that we get a launch trailer or a new gameplay showcase at the December 8th Game Awards. But who knows, with Sons of the Forest still not having a release date, there is a strong possibility that the game gets delayed yet again. But here's to hoping that everything is still on track. I am super hyped to see Sons of the Forest release in February, as this one should be a great game to play. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up with this video. Thank you all for watching. Let me know if you are hyped about Sons of the Forest in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on, and be sure to stay tuned to the channel if you want to stay up to date with all things new with Sons of the Forest, Arc 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Spider-Man 2, Marvel's Wolverine, and a bunch of other games like that. Also, be sure to enter the PS5 giveaway from the start of the video. Thanks again for watching. This has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys again soon.